The hover is one of the most unique maneuvers in 3D aerobatics. The airplane is suspended by the propeller, hanging vertically in the air. It's almost like a helicopter. It might look impressive, but here's the secret. It's actually not that difficult to perform once you grasp the basics. Let's delve into the airplane setup. First and foremost, you need a high thrust-to-weight ratio. At least 1.5 to 1. With experience, you could get away with less, but the extra power will help you stop the plane from descending too quickly and will also give you margin of error if you need to abort the maneuver from a bad position. You want to max out the deflections on your rudder, elevator, and ailerons for this maneuver. If you're into dual rates, go for the highest setting. You're dealing with minimal airflow here, so big surfaces and large angles are your friends. The throttle curve is pretty important in this maneuver. Different pilots like different things here. Personally, I like a mostly linear curve and have the airplane hover at around 50 to 60% throttle. This is usually not a huge problem with most people's setups, but I've seen a few cases, usually in electric planes, where the motor was so powerful that it actually was really difficult to find the sweet spot in the throttle to keep the airplane stable in the hover without climbing or losing altitude. If you're into this type of problem, don't be afraid to modify your throttle curve. Regarding center of gravity, I have flown countless planes, and the center of gravity didn't make a noticeable difference in hover performance. With the setup in check, let's dive into the hover itself. There are many ways to get into a hover. Rolling Harrier, snap roll, no-name, or wall, to name a few. But one of the simplest methods is transitioning from a Harrier. From a Harrier, point the plane into the wind. Apply full elevator and add a bit of throttle to keep the plane from dropping. As you approach near vertical, you can start neutralizing the elevator. Simultaneously, apply full right aileron and maintain a slight tilt away from pure vertical to keep the plane from rotating and entering a torque roll. You can think of it as a Harrier with an extremely high angle of attack, so close to vertical that the airplane doesn't move forward due to the wind. At this point, you should only need to apply small corrections of rudder and elevator to keep the plane as stable as possible. You will likely have to use a bit of up elevator to keep the plane from trying to lower the nose into the wind. For your first attempts, have the plane face away from you. This way, when you hit the hover, you are looking at the top of the plane, which will make applying the right corrections much easier. If after multiple attempts you are still struggling with the hover, here are two common mistakes to watch out for. Hovering at a high altitude. Hovering can feel a bit scary at the beginning. Because of this, people often try hovering at a fairly high altitude. The problem here is that it's tough to judge if the plane is vertical or if you are climbing or descending. You need to find an altitude that gives you a bit of margin of error, but still allows you to easily see what the airplane is doing. Using the simulator to build the muscle memory before trying this maneuver in the field is a great way to combat those low altitude fears. Over controlling the plane. High rates are great for maneuverability, but once you are in a stable hover, go easy on the sticks. Smooth inputs keep you from fighting the plane and will allow you to settle into the hover gracefully. Hovers are a critical path to mastering torque rolls. Make sure to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss out on the upcoming video about torque rolls. Until then, happy flying!